Yo, what up guys? Welcome to the fucking video for today. I am here in my room coming to you live. I finally got laid for the first time since getting to New York. It's been like 2.5 weeks or so. So it's been a long time coming. A lot of pulls, had like 3 different pulls when girls were like at my house, but I didn't end up hitting. Kind of just, figuring shit out. So it is what it is. But we finally made it happen. So yeah, let's talk about it. What kind of happened? It was pretty late, getting late in our like day game session. We were going pretty hard. It was like 2.5, 3 hours in. We had each done definitely over 10 approaches. I was ready to call it a day, ready to go home. But we just wanted to bang out one more before we called it. Okay, so this is the last one. My wing points it out to me. I go, I'm like, hey, you're cute. Big smile on her face. She very receptive, very positive. Opening, I realize she doesn't speak English at all. So then I whip out my horrible Spanish and I start just like, talking some horrible Spanish. I'm just like interviewing a little bit, like, where are you from? What are you up to? And then I just like ask her for her number. As I'm getting her number, I'm like screening her a little bit for like logistics, trying to see if an instant date makes some sense and is possible. Because what I've noticed with a lot of New York girls, they're pretty fucking busy. A lot of people are, actually just like busy. They're doing shit. They're meeting friends. They're, going to dinner or Pilates class, whatever. So an instant date oftentimes doesn't work. I mean, in most cases, in most cities, people are busy. But in New York, people are especially busy, especially if they're not like tourists. Anyway, this girl happened to not be a tourist. She was just like getting off work, but is what it is. She wasn't busy. I screened her a little bit for logistics. Turned out it made sense, and I was like, okay, cool. And I asked her, do you want to come get a drink with me? She's like, yeah. So I'm like, cool, let's go. And then I'm just like, come with me. I have a bar that I know kind of near my place, and I just take her a few blocks, and we get there. It goes, pretty well. I just sit her at the bar. I go grab a couple of drinks for us. I come back. The main things actually on that walk from where I met her to the bar is I asked her one question: Do you have a boyfriend? And then I asked her, how do you feel about being like my girlfriend for the day? This is an interesting question because it puts urgency in the interaction. Because now there's like a time span involved of a day. So it immediately puts a frame of like a sexual nature to the conversation. And it's one where a lot of girls, what they'll do is they'll say like, what, let's just meet another time, let's meet another day. But a little bit of urgency helps in that situation. So the frame is very sexual from the jump, and there's a little bit of urgency as well. So this can definitely help. Cool. So we actually get physical. I can't really talk to her too much, so I'm just like, there's no way we can talk. We just have to like feel and look at each other. It's like something I say to her actually, or I try my best in Spanish along those lines. But yeah, we get pretty physical. She says yes. I hug her. I pull her in, and then we're kind of like holding hands to the bar. So a lot of like physicality from almost like minute 1 of the interaction. So this kind of helps a lot. It helps us move the interaction forward a lot faster. Any physicality you can get away with is good, but then pull back a little bit, try to escalate more, pull back 2 steps forward, 1 step back is a good idea for physical escalation. But yeah, so this immediate physicality helps a lot. It helps guide the interaction. We get to the bar, get some drinks. We're getting a little bit more physical. We're like holding hands a little bit, touching. I'm touching her like legs and hands and stuff like that. So yeah, it's moving pretty fast, and she's very receptive and having a lot of fun, and she doesn't speak much English, so it's a lot of like sexual like looks, like with eye contact and different things like that is kind of all I can work with, because the language is pretty tough for me, and my Spanish is not that good. I do know like some basic stuff, but not enough to really spit some solid game in Spanish. So yeah, it's relying a lot on looks, physicality, physical, escalation, logistical escalation. We're moving around a little bit. yeah, and then we start like dancing, and she's very good at dancing, and I'm pretty bad, so it's a little bit awkward for me. But this helps us get even more physical, actually. Yeah, and then we sit down. She gets really close. We make out pretty hard at the bar, and then we just like finish our drinks within like an hour of being there or so. And then I just like, let's go on an adventure. And it's like, do you want to go on an adventure in Spanish? Let's go. And then I say vamos, and then we leave, and then I pull her to the house. Yeah, and then we just get back. We pretty much just get almost right down to business and just knock that shit out. Yeah, and then kind of do like some aftercare, I guess, stuff, cuddling, some chilling, some pillow talk. And then yeah, we send her. I'm like, I gotta get up early. I'm actually doing some disqualifiers along the walk back from the bar to my house. I'm doing some disqualifiers. I have to get up early. I don't know how long you can be here. You can come in, but you have to be cool. Have like roommates. Don't embarrass me. Shit like that. Or at least I'm trying in Spanish. Some things like that. But just disqualifying, because oftentimes girls will do this to you. So you want to beat them to the objections. If you can, even if it seems like they're not going to do this, girls will just do this. So it seemed like this one was pretty on, which is the reason why I pulled as well. I pulled because of how physical it was and how like sexually on our interaction was. You don't want to pull too early before any of that stuff makes sense. You don't want to pull too late after it's just been too long already. You want to pull at a good time when it makes sense. Okay, cool. So disqualifiers are good to just beat them to the objections. Girls will do this even if it seems like it's totally on and it's gonna happen. They'll still whip out some objections. So you just want to clear those up. Just get them out of the way. You say them first. Beat her to them, because if she says it after that, it's a little bit strange. It's like, yeah, I already said that. I got to get up early. And then it's also relieving some pressure and also adding some value at the same time. So it's a great thing to do. Disqualify. I don't know if we should have sex. I'd like to take it slow. I'm shy usually. This is pretty unexpected. I gotta get up early. So disqualify the sex from happening before she does. Beat her to it. Super, super important stuff. It's one of like, it's a big sticking point. If you mess this up on a pull, you're not gonna get laid a lot of the time. So, really use these disqualifiers. Okay. Cool. So yeah, we pretty much just get back. It's almost we get down to business right when we get here, and then yeah, pillow talk, aftercare stuff, chilling, just hanging out a little bit. And then I just tell her I gotta get up early. Is it okay if I get you an Uber home? If she's cool with it, we send her on her way. We call it a day. So yeah, pretty fun stuff. It's good to get that kind of out of the way, because the first girl is always the hardest in any city. That shit is just hard. So it's always good to get that first one done. I actually went through like a lot of bullshit before getting this one in, but yeah, it's finally it's all good now. So like I said in some of my previous videos, spring always comes. Jim Rohn, I think, is actually the one who said that. I was attributing it to Brian Tracy, but Jim Rohn is the one I think that says spring always comes. So even when there's really hard times, even when you're kind of down and you pulled a bunch of girls but haven't gotten laid, spring always comes. So as long as you keep going, moving in the right direction, better things are going to come. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. If you guys have any questions, please comment below. If you would like help with your own approaches, check out the links in my description or the comment that I have pinned below. Thank you for watching.